Right, so anyone watching this from the beginning is basically going to find out what I'm doing, and that's one thing is I'm testing out a new bit of kit, and I'm broadcasting to 5 platforms at the same time. So there's things I need to start doing a little bit differently, and a couple of those things are like playing a bit of music in the background. So whilst I'm just checking that things are doing what they should be doing, I am going to allow myself a little bit of time just to get involved. Because I'm not sure exactly how this new bit of software works, but I do know that I can have people talking and broadcasting from any of LinkedIn channels, YouTube would be live, and Facebook on 3 different places on Facebook. So I hope you're hearing me. So if any of you are actually listening, what is it? Okay. I had a little message from LinkedIn saying I'm not allowed to do that. So I'm just checking there. We got, I want a Facebook page. I want a hypnotherapy page. So I'm going to do that live as well and see if that's on there. That's connected. Let me do that. Oh well, we're live on 4, I believe. Okay, so we're going to have a little chat about what hypnotherapy is and the misconceptions of people thinking about brainwashing and that kind of thing. Basically, we live in a negative society, and ever since we're born, we are programmed. Our subconscious mind is being programmed. We're listening to everything, and everything is coming in, and we are receiving like a sponge. So essentially, up to the age of about 7 years old, we're on record. And then when we're about 7 years old, our brain waves change. So we're not in receiving, and then we step into a different brainwave pattern where we then start processing everything that we've received. And then we start running our own, the subconscious will start running its own programs, essentially, depending on how they've been programmed. So personality traits, limiting beliefs, fears is a big one. They're all there, they're all inherited. And as we run through our lives, through schooling, conditioning, and all these other kinds of things, we also get programmed and conditioned by, I suppose, social media to a point, like more recently. Before then, it would have just been media and newspapers and that kind of thing. And obviously, we know that misery likes company. And so when someone's having a little bitch or a moan or a gripe, it probably spreads like wildfire, more so than good news. I know in the restaurant trade, people used to say to me, if we get it right once and we'll have a fantastic time, they're going to tell 5 people. But if they have a bad experience, they'll tell 20. So really, when it comes to us as human beings, we are conditioned to be hardwired to be looking for danger, looking for crisis, looking for things that maybe will harm us in some way. So for our own self-preservation, the old primitive brain kicks in and has to try and protect us, because we're not told as children and stuff like that to go out and take risks and to fail forward, fail often, that kind of thing. It's only when we're a little bit older or when we start going on a self-development journey that we actually realise and appreciate that those things are actually around us. So self-development books and those kind of things, and we appreciate that those are the things that can actually make us feel better in our lives. Law of attraction is a massive one, and I remember hearing about this thing called the secret or the magic years ago, but the real secret is that this stuff has been around for ages, and it's not that much of a secret. The only secret is it's not being told to us, because you think if we knew about this stuff, if we knew about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, if we knew that hypnosis and by the power of our thoughts create our reality, and we know that when we were like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old at school, that if we spent a little bit of time just going within, relaxing, trying to quieten our minds, that mental chatter that's going on, because we're all schizophrenics, aren't we? Really, we've all got like 5 kind of different personality traits inside us. You know, there's the good, the bad. You know, the on the shoulders. You know, that kind of stereotypical good and bad. You got your intuition, you got your conscious mind. So you've got good, bad, subconscious, conscious, and intuition. That's how I kind of play it out. And so I'm the conscious mind, but for my whole life, I felt like I had a pinball machine in my head. Ding, 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 ding. And all that basic was, and I understand it now, is neuronal firing different ideas, clusters of thoughts, chaos, essentially. And I would say it felt like chaos in my head. Oh, I just noticed a feature. As if, hello, mate. Hello, buddy. Let me know that you got that. Oh, that's cool. So I'm playing with new toys, you see, because I actually discovered this StreamYard a few months ago from listening to Daisha Hanks, who's really cool, by the way. So if you look her up on Facebook, she's pretty fly, and I love her message. And she comes out and she always speaks very well. She's always got an awesome message, and she's messaged me privately sometimes, so that's always nice when you're watching something on a social media channel and you reach out to someone and they actually reply to you. It makes us feel special, right? Because we've got it programmed in us that anything we're seeing on the screen, I'm going to cover myself up so I stop looking at myself. Anything that we see on a screen, we think we're on telly. Oh, that's okay, yeah. So yeah, we think we're on telly, and we think we associate with someone having an important message. So anybody seem to have decent. So that's weird. I just know not to look at myself. We have it programmed that they're like authority or they've got something important to say, that kind of thing. So more and more people are actually getting online. More and more people are spreading a message online, which is great. I don't really watch the news, to be honest. Occasionally it's on around me. But what I have noticed in today, when I live with my mum whilst I'm still here in lockdown in England. Mum's watching the news, and I kind of said, "Can I pause it?" Because I didn't want to hear it. But there was this thing, and she was talking about they're putting £2 billion into making the sidewalks, the pavements, the sidewalks wider for pedestrians and for cyclists, which is great, right? But it makes you think. Well, I live in Tunbridge Wells, and I know the problem with the potholes in Tunbridge Wells, and it's been years, and they haven't sorted out the roads. So I really, what, they're going to sort out all these pavements in the next couple of months? But are we or aren't we going to be in the lockdown still in a couple of months? So are they paving the way? Pardon the pun. Paving the way for us to be in lockdown for years. Okay. I won't talk too much about that because I'll probably flag up on some bot somewhere, and it might turn around and actually stop me having people watching this. So let's get back more onto a bit of topic. This guy is Clive, and Clive is our little friend. My auntie gave it to my mum, I believe, from an animal sanctuary, from a charity. My mum loves her animals. My auntie and my uncle, when I was growing up, they pretty much had farms. I think my uncle still has horses and stuff, and pretty much does have a farm. And my auntie, she basically just has them all in the house with her. So well kept, well organised. She's a dog trainer and walks lots of dogs and looks after animals as well. I know that my granddad's ferrets have just gone there because they couldn't come to our house, and he's had to go into a home, which is quite sad. God bless him. But we've got the cats. Anyone that's followed me for a little bit of time knew that right in the beginning of lockdown, I was on my own in the family home. I'll give you a little bit of history, actually. Being that I'm broadcasting on multiple channels, I'll give you a little bit of history if you haven't heard my story before. I lived in Spain for 10 years, between the age of 28, 37, pretty much. Came back to England on a spiritual journey of self-discovery. What have I done in those 2 years that I've been back? I've done a few things that I know I don't want to do, and a few things that I'm not going to do again. And it's drawn me to a path of doing a hypnotherapy course, solution focused, which isn't intrusive. It's not delving into the past. It's really quite relaxing and quite nice. And I've managed to work with a lot of people. I mean, when I was training, I worked with about 26 people doing case studies and what have you. I fall into a trap of saying what have you, obviously, and a few words loads and loads of times. So if I start doing that, grab a bottle and turn it into a drinking game. Okay, you have my permission. So I did the hypnotherapy course. I was really loving that, and I was doing a bit of security and a little bit of part-time work. That was fine, no problem at all. Everything means to an end. Sometimes in life, I think you need to change things because the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over again and expect a different outcome. So essentially, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you want things that you've never had, you've got to do shit that you've never done. So I knew that I was going to have to sacrifice a lot. I knew that I was going to have to go through a lot before I was going to push through the other side. And I truly believe that I'm pretty much there and getting there now. So let's explain what I did. Did the hypnotherapy course. I then wanted to know how to market myself online as a hypnotherapist so I could help people. It became very apparent that more and more things are online. And I thought in the future, a lot of the jobs wouldn't be there. So to do something going online would be great. I studied, it's one of these night courses, well, say night course. I did it at night when I was working at nights to utilise my time, which was pretty genius, I thought, at the time. Doing security and those kind of jobs, you get a lot of downtime unless you're in danger. So that offsets the good and the bad. So I wanted to discover how to market myself. So I knew I needed to go to people who had the tools that I needed. And this is where I found this. Little bubbles in my water. So I found this online community, and it was a community of entrepreneurs that worked online, and they basically had a school of marketing. That was all the newest trends and strategies that they were using, things like what I'm on now. They will do a video and show you how to set it up and do it yourself. And I thought, brilliant. I was going to get in there, learn what I needed to know, be in a cheapskate, and then get my money back or just leave, really. Then I found out what products that they work with doing affiliate marketing, and I was like, wow, they really aligned with me. I knew that on the spiritual journey, when I was doing the nights as well, I was doing not like these online courses, I beg your pardon, and that was in personal training and nutrition, because I spent the last couple of years in and out of gyms with personal trainers, and you pick up a lot from them, a lot in mindset, a lot in motivation, and also within just different ways of doing exercises, different expressions, buzzwords, and the nutrition and the actual meal plans as well. It's really, really beneficial. So I wanted something on paper to sort of say I had a basic understanding of that, and that was great. I set up a fitness and like an alternative fitness and social club, which that we wouldn't have been able to do now. So when I then started to learn more about what this community were doing, I was like, that really aligns with me, because I know what my personal feelings about water and the plastic problem on our planet, the problem we've got with, really essentially, if I just kind of call it off the bat, what problems we have is the fact of like being governed, told what to do to such an extent that we do. And I've always been one to question things. I've always wanted to kind of almost find out the root underneath things, or think that we're not always being told like the truth about things, and that's genuine. So I'd already kind of thought that there was kind of shit being put into our water. I knew that we're programmed in a certain way through telly and things being miserable, but I didn't know to the extent. I mean, I had all the kind of the telltale signs were there for me. And then when I then started doing hypnotherapy, and then with the digital entrepreneurship, what basically happened, I was then with like-minded people that were spiritual, that were mindful about their feelings and thoughts, and they were studying law of attraction and all these different wonderful self-development books which are out there for us and have been out there for ages. We just don't know about them or not been exposed to them. That's probably about because our perceptions, where we shine the light, we then shine the light on more. So if we're thinking negatively and we're concentrating on all the shit on our lives and the language we're using about, oh, I don't want this to happen and I don't want that, we're attracting everything we don't want. So we were never, we didn't stand a chance, essentially, of actually shining the light on the beautiful, beautiful abundance and all those great things that are around us all the time. They're there, we just don't see them. So, for instance, if I say to you, don't imagine Clive wearing a blue mankini, chances are you can't stop yourself. Your brain doesn't know the negative words, so it just goes and reaches and grabs you those. The light's not quite working, right? So, that being said, what do we do about that? Well, first of all, we've all got the right to be and to do and to become anything that you want, because it's all in here. And the wealthiest place on our planet is a graveyard, because we're born with all these special gifts. We're born with these. I'm looking at the light instead of you, crazy man. We're born with all these special gifts and all these special tools, and they're in us. They're divine. They're all there. We can do anything. We've all probably got special gifts, almost given to us that were our birthright, And unfortunately, a lot of us are going to go to the grave. We're going to meet the ghosts, the ghosts of all those successes and all those special gifts and skills and tools that you could have done. And you're going to have to walk past them, and you'll be like, oh, who are you? And you'll be like, well, we died with you. I never got the chance to live. I never got the chance to do those wonderful things, to touch their lives and to impact people and yourself and your family, because you didn't believe that I was in you. And that's really sad. So if one thing comes out of being in lockdown and by people slowing down and being able to connect in a different way, if one good thing comes out of it, I would like to think that would be a good thing. Ooh, running out of battery. Let's sort this out. Quick, click, quick, quick, quick. Oh, thank God for that. Phew. That would have been a schoolboy error, wouldn't it? So, we have all these gifts and skills in us, and it's just about listening. And for us to listen, first we need to be silent. And that's the problem in most of our lives. We don't spend enough time being quiet. And I think sometimes we can kind of think, well, if you spend a little bit of time in solitude, a little bit of time being on your own and listening to nothing, you can betterly appreciate silence. And also there's magical stuff that happens with silence. When you get to learn the ability and to practice, like any muscle that you've got, if you want to make these bad boys big and strong, you want to make this big and strong, you've got to practice doing stuff, And that's where failure comes in. No such thing as failure, no such thing as fear. Because most of the time, the fear of failure, you see, it's like a vicious circle. So we've got so many wonderful things that we've got to be grateful for. And by using something like hypnosis, by going within, which is essentially a relaxation technique, and you probably go into trance many times a day just by merely daydreaming, zoning out, whatever you want to call it. But if you was to listen to something like this I'm playing, and listen to a story about going deeper down into the calm, that inner calm that's always residing inside of you. And you can go there whenever you want to, because that peace and tranquility is always there for you to tap into and enjoy. That's really relaxing, right? And it's changed my life. Maybe 6-7 weeks before I moved back in 2018, in March, was the first time I met anyone really. Well, I met people that are spiritual, and I thought they were a bit wacky. So I was a bit like, oh. But I was drawn to it, and I was always very much, I will do, but I was very much one to say, like, procrastinating, oh, it's not the right time. That kind of bullshit, basically. But then actually, no, it's not bullshit, because if it was the right time, I would do it, right? And that's why it's the right time for everybody. There's no coincidence. It's not by chance we are where we are in the situation that we're in. We are, everything's happening for us. Once people can shift their minds out of that whole victim entitlement mentality of, why is this happening to me? Why did they do that to me? Well, it's not really true, because how you perceive the world is all to do with how you are inside. So if you fix the inside and make that better, the world looks differently. What you shine the light on, what you choose to feel with feeling, inevitably becomes your living reality. The incredible fact is that everything that you want is waiting for you. But you've got to tap in, and you've got to be appreciative, and you've got to almost feel it now to be able to allow it to be attracted to you. And that's kind of one of the main real kind of law of attraction hacks, really. It's about taking good feelings, putting them with something else you're saying, like if you're doing affirmations, or you believe in yourself, or telling yourself that you are powerful and deserving, and that you can do this and you can do that. It's just about telling yourself that, really. And then keep telling it, because thoughts habitually create beliefs. So that repetition creates new neuronal firings, and when those neuronal clusters start firing together on repetition, they start wiring together, hard wiring together, and then whatever it is, that repetition starts to show up automatically. So for instance, I could be saying, I am a powerhouse, I am at peace with myself, I am powerful, I am enough, everything is always working out for me. I am worthy and deserving. I only have positive thoughts. I choose to release negative thoughts. If you're saying those things to you over and over and over again, all of a sudden they start showing up on their own. And that's the power of positivity. But it's not about always just thinking everything's positive. I mean, every action is a positive intention, depending on who's delivering it. And even to say people doing nasty things, that's in their mind, in some way, it's a positive thing that they're trying to achieve, even though they might be in pain or hurting or having suffering. So it can all start with a thought, and everything does. So therefore, we need to look after our thoughts, look over the programming that we receive, be mindful about what we let in, and about what we choose to do. And of course, it's not only just about that. It's not just about thinking positively. The quickest way is through repetition. You do something 21 to 28 days consecutively, it starts showing up on its own. And you can lose it in days, essentially, but you've got to build it up. You've got to start stacking, making that momentum, so that the momentum will carry you through, and you can give yourself a day off here or there. But I promise you, hypnosis is the surest and fastest way to reprogram, essentially, your subconscious. And people might think it's brainwashing, taking away people's freedom of choice, freedom of thinking, freedom of speech as well. But, and this is a big but, and I like big buts that I cannot lie. The big but is, if you want to call it brainwashing, I don't care, because you've been brainwashed your whole life. So if it's going to take a bit of brainwashing, but with stuff that you're choosing to put in there to counteract the balance, to balance the status quo, then that's so be it. I always felt like a prisoner in my own head. I mentioned before about the pinball machine going ding 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 ding. I had that my whole life, and I did manage to calm down and placate myself and desensitize my empathic nature, my spiritualism, or what the signs were coming to me, and I managed to kind of very easily skip them for years and years with smoking weed, drinking alcohol, doing other things, nothing serious. So, being in the clubs, people being on coke, that kind of thing. But I'm grateful for everything that I had been through, because then well, everything, literally everything that I've gone through and every hardship it took to get to where I am today, knowing what I know. And the thing that's about knowledge is that once you know, there's never you can't unknow stuff. So then I've always questioned, and I've even thought, and I remember thinking this as a kid, that how do we know what we're being told is true? So that's why I was always a little bit special, because I think that I kind of questioned things then. Every authority, didn't like being told what to do, still don't really. And then when becoming more self-aware and learning about psychology, personality traits, and being more aware genuinely, it allows us to actually see things very, very differently, and actually see things differently within ourselves as well. I often now, I will have like very beautiful morning, evening routines. I have my hypnosis, and I go within. I have my motivational stuff, and I do my affirmations, gratitude, journaling, affirmations, breath work, going to the woods, emotional freedom tapping. There's so many different resources to you, and I've got a plethora of people around me now that are like-minded spiritual people, whether in energy healing or numerology, just love to talk and share their feelings and their interpretation of situations and how the feelings and the thoughts kind of coincide for them. It's an amazing journey, and I truly believe that more and more people are becoming more spiritually awoken right now because of the situation we're in. And it's almost in the face of diversity at times that people really do, um, you know, the test of humans in the face of adversity is really tried, and we surprise ourselves sometimes. Kind of where I want to get at. We surprise ourselves massively because we are resourceful, we are caring and kind, and we've been led into a masculine energy in our lives and the planet's kind of frequency, very action taking, very doing, very fast paced. And our perceptual vision, field of vision, has always been narrowed, really, really like reach in front of us, because that's how fast everything goes. So when you're going quicker, your field of vision comes. So of course, if we have to stop all of a sudden, now we can see everything around us. Some people won't embrace the change. Some people might just be sitting there waiting to react and thinking, poor me, poor me. Other people might be sort of making the best of things. Other people might almost not believe. We've only been just shy of 2 months, really, isn't it? It's only still a matter of weeks, really, that we've been in this. And it's not been too bad, is it? I know this is very, very different to a lot of people. I'm very, very fortunate. I mean, I kind of feel like I was in self-isolation for the last year anyway, like working online and doing the stuff I do, like digital marketing, and that's essentially like doing ads and things like that, and talking to people on Facebook, promoting some health products, and that's what's about the water, and that aligns with me. Same with the hypnotherapy. The hypnotherapy I've just completed an NLP practitioner's course, and it's really, really nice just to be kind of like be chilled out and open and just be their brothers, really, try and help people. I've just set this up so that I can do more broadcasts and just step my game up, really, essentially. So that's why I wanted to do a video, and I'll go back into all the different platforms afterwards and go and check them. Just doing things differently because I want to level up as well. I want to do things differently. I want to help more people. I want people to understand where I'm coming from in a solution-focused hypnotherapy standpoint with holistic coaching. And there'll be a lot of interesting things that people might take away from it that haven't heard it before or know a little bit about and would like to have a conversation. And that's fine. So that's why I do these things and set up bits and pieces for people to jump on board and get involved. So before this ends up turning into like a long, ramble, ranty kind of thing, there are opportunities out there for people. There's opportunities online. There's opportunities for self-development. There's opportunities to grow residual income, to set up businesses to learn how to do stuff with digital marketing. There's lots of opportunities, but do be careful what you do and check everything out to make sure that it's proper, it's viable, and that it aligns with you. More importantly than anything else, it has to align with you. I get Forex, Bitcoin, new things to do with digital money all the time. People saying to me that the best thing since sliced bread, and I'm very standoffish. But then when I'm talking to people about coaching or about opportunities where people can get involved with online communities to go and earn passive or money income, like as a side hustle, we've been programmed, quite rightly so, to say, no, don't do that, and we might think that people are trying to scam us or it's not genuine. So just take your time. You're never going to be obliged and obligated to do anything you don't want to do, because everything in your life is a choice, from your thoughts to your feelings. And if you want to change your state, you have to be aware and change one of those things. So if you're looking online, if you're looking for opportunities either for help or self-development, then do it with an open mind, but do check out, and don't just go on Reddit and the first Yelp thing that says this is bollocks or whatever. Check it out different sources of information, because there's so much out there, and you've got to remember that where there's good, there's bad. And I know personally, I'm not doing anything bad online, but I occasionally have to block people from my ads or block people from spamming my inboxes because they're saying horrible stuff. Hi Sean, how are you, buddy? Old Clive behind me. I'll have to do it on that hand, which is weird. Oh, he's in that corner. Clive is, baked. Does he look a bit stoned? I need to lift his eyes up a bit more, do I? Give him like a little mean look or something. Yeah, he's a cool ape. I'm gonna. How's it going, Birdie? Let's stick some engagement in there. You never know, more people might jump on. So there's me just ranting about hypnotherapy and about online, people working online, lots of different opportunities. So be careful what you're up to, guys. And I hope whatever you're doing it with conviction, that you believe in what you're doing. And if you don't, then change it, or start telling yourself that you can do it. You can do it. You will do it. You are doing it. You are powerful, and you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. You just got to start taking action towards it, essentially. So I'm going to get off. It's going to be 33 minutes. 33 is a good number, isn't it? And then I'll go and check out how this was for people on the other side. So thank you very much. I'm going to be playing with these new tools. So with that, peace.